What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's reaction video is the south of the USA, the don'ts of visiting the south. Now we have checked out Walter's World before, we did the don'ts of visiting the USA in general. If you haven't seen that, go and check it out. I really enjoyed that one. We learned quite a few new things. But this is going to be specifically on the south. Now again, the US is so big, everywhere is different, and there definitely seems to be quite a big south and northern divide in the way of life and potentially what the people are like. Again, I've only ever been to New York, so I can't comment on personal opinion on either, because again, New York's more of a touristy place. It's not the full experience of potentially a rural northern town or a southern town, if that makes sense. It's just New York, very touristy and stuff like that. So I can't comment on it, but we're going to be seeing the don'ts of visiting the south. Let's get straight into it. I've enjoyed this channel, so go and check it out if you enjoy this content as well. I'm subscribed to it. I hope you guys subscribe to it as well. But more importantly, guys, as much as we like Walter's World, make sure you subscribe to this channel. I'd really appreciate it. Let's try and hit... We're going to push about out again, 400 likes. If we don't hit, it's not the end of the world, but let's try and hit 400 likes for this video. And let's see what the don'ts of visiting the south is. Let's check it out.
Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Walter's World, and today we are here in Savannah, Georgia. And today we're going to cover for you are the don'ts of visiting the south of the U.S., and specifically the southeast. You know, the deep south, the Georgia, Alabama, Louisiana, South Carolina, this kind of...
Yeah, which at the bottom, my tip for anyone trying to put it on a map, I think it's mag, isn't it? You've got Mississippi, Alabama, and then you've got Georgia. Yeah, mag. He just said Georgia. I couldn't think of it off the top of my head. That's my little tip down there. Obviously, Louisiana, shaped like an L. So, again, I'm a British guy, but we've been learning quite a few things from this.
Kind of stuff, because there's some things you should know that are different than the traditional don'ts of the U.S.
Wow.
Specifically, in general, there's something we want to focus on just for here in the South. And the first don't I have for you is don't forget your manners. Look, manners are a...
This is common sense everywhere, isn't it? I mean, I hate to be that guy, but like, that's common sense anywhere. Some people don't have manners. I like to be polite as possible, and I hope that comes across in these videos. I don't think that's surely just can't be the southern. That's got to be everywhere in the world. Like, just have manners, be polite, man.
Huge thing in the South. Whether you're a little kid or you're an old man, you need to have your manners when you're here. You do use your pleases and thank yous and yes ma'am and yes sir and things like that.
Yeah,
that is not
I like
optional.
that.
That is how you speak when you're here, and you always show people respect, especially people that are older than you, okay? So you will be holding the door for people and things like that. And I'll tell you, don't you ever let an old Southern woman or an old Southern man or anyone that seems older than you stand up. You always give up your chair to the older ladies or the older gentlemen when you are there, because it is a sign of respect. That's how it works here in the South.
Again, let me know if you're from the North, whether you agree with this as well. Because again, me from being in England, it's just respect, isn't it? I feel like this is just common respectful stuff. If you've got anything about yourself, you're well-mannered, respectful, you do it. No matter where you're, whether in the South or North, in your home country. Let me know. Let me know if you're from the North and you disagree with this or not.
Because manners are a huge thing when you are here. And another thing is don't forget to smile when you are here. You'll see how happy and friendly the people are. And one of the parts that is just this happy-go-lucky nature that you have here in the South. So don't forget to smile, because you will have a good time. And with that is, don't be surprised if people randomly start up conversations with you when you are here in the South. Going grocery shopping, if you pass by somebody maybe twice in 2 different aisles, don't be surprised you strike up a conversation out of the blue on the next aisle. It is a completely normal thing here, because the Southerners are super friendly. I know, we were at a restaurant here in town a couple days ago. My credit card fell through the crack in the floor, like it was like a deck kind of thing that they had built up. They pried up the floor to get my card out. I'm like, dude, I can call and cancel the card. It's okay. Like, no, we got this taken care of. The people in the South are super friendly, so don't freak out about it. It's not fake. They are really that friendly. And
sorry for pausing too much, by the way, but first I just want to say, I'm enjoying this one even more than the don'ts of videos in the USA, because there's images on screen, which you probably see me looking a little bit lost, because I'm trying to listen and I'm trying to read the things with the whole grave digger, which is obviously the monster trucks and stuff like that. But again, with the whole talking, this sounds like the north of England so much. Like, again, I don't know the north of America. Let me know if you're from there. The south is perceived from the north of being, you don't really talk to each other, you get on with it. On escalators, you got to stand one side and let people pass on the other. But in the north, it's more like, just stand next to your mate and have a chat. You can just have a chat, like, when you're walking on the street, "Hi, how are you?" You know, to a random and stuff like that. That's definitely the perception of the two, and that definitely sounds like the Southern relates to that, which is pretty awesome, because, again, I'm from the North of England, so there's a bit of a correlation there, 100%. But yeah, sorry about the pausing. Yeah, I just get excited with these videos. I'm comparing it, and Walter does a very good job at hitting points and me wanting to comment on them, so that's why.
And that helpful. So don't be scared to ask for help when you come
Awesome.
here. That's another don't I have for you. Because you're going to see towns like Savannah or Charleston, there's so much history here. You're not sure, what should I be looking at here? I mean, you have this picture. What should I look at? Well, you got the cotton exchange right there. Like, oh, there's a historic building.
Oh, wow.
You got the fountains, and you got the Capitol building. You have these things. You're like, wow, it is kind of a cool thing to check out, but you want to...
Boiled peanuts. I don't know if I agree with that, you know. I mean, I'll give it a go, but that sounds mad. Let me know if you've had them in the comments.
No more. And the Southerners do have a lot of pride in their hometowns, in their home states and stuff like that, that they will share that with you. So don't be afraid to ask, hey, we're the best biscuits in town. We're going to get the best, you know, the strongest drinks in town. They will be friendly and they will help you out. One of the things is when you do talk to the Southerners, you might notice that sometimes they're an accent. And what I will say is, don't think that that accent makes them stupid, okay? Just because someone has an accent doesn't make them like not know something or be less intelligent or whatever. And you have this stereotype that TV and radio and movies really kind of promote is, oh, if you got an accent, you must be some kind of hillbilly.
Yes, I completely agree with that. Again, it's the whole don't judge a book by its cover. I can definitely see how TV programs, I don't know if they do it on purpose or anything like that, but you have the whole y'all and the South and stuff like that is kind of like working on a form and stuff like that and maybe not as well educated. Which again, when we did the 50 states ranked, a lot of people were saying that it still hasn't got the full infrastructure what the North does, but it's getting there. It doesn't mean they're stupid, and I completely agree with that logic. My personal thing is you go up to someone, you give them all the respect in the world. They could be a rocket scientist, they could know nothing, but until you speak to them and get to know them, you don't know this. You've got to give them that respect. But again, the NASA is there, which we just saw the space camp and stuff like that, which looked absolutely awesome, by the way. That's something I'd love to go to one day.
Do not think that the Southerners are hillbillies. Don't think their accent makes them stupid.
Yeah.
It's not the case. You can have some great conversations with people when you are here, and they'll know more than you actually think they do. And so I want to give you the heads up on that. And another don't I have with you is when you are here and you do bring your kids, don't be surprised if your kids are acting up, if the locals will tell your kid, hey, straighten up, hey, get it together. You will see that here. People do scold other people's kids
here
in the South. And I know if you're in the North or you're in California, West Coast or something like that, and someone tells your kid, hey, watch it, kid, you're like, don't tell my kid what to do.
Yeah, I'm a little bit against other parents potentially telling your kid what to do. Again, I don't have any, so maybe I feel a little bit different. I'm a little bit against that. It's their private business. Again, I let other people get on with it. If their kid wants to become a little shit in the future or something like that, then that's their problem. But yeah, just get on with your own life, I say.
I've had people do that to us before. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, your kid just kicked me. Am I supposed to let your kid, you know, hit me or something? Here, that stuff doesn't fly. Your kid's acting obnoxious. Be prepared to have people call you out on that. Because remember, number one, manners, okay? And
yeah,
that goes
manners,
from
yeah.
young to old. So
done with
sure
respect.
Little Johnny or little Susie know that, hey, you say yes, ma'am, yes, sir, please and thank you, and you don't make a mess, all right? So just a heads up on that one. Now, when they do call out your kids for the behavior, they're not judging you and judging your parental skills and stuff like that.
I don't know.
What they kind of do here in the South is, it's the old mantra, it takes a village to raise a child, and so the whole village is helping out raising the child, okay? So don't be offended by it.
Okay, I don't mind. When you put in that aspect, I don't mind it as much. You know, when you say it like that, a good little slogan. I like it.
Because you know what? It is hot when you're here, and that's my next don't is, don't melt when you come to the South. Look, July and August, oppressive heat in pretty much the entire deep South. And in lots of places, oppressive humidity. Like you walk out and you're like, oh, I'm going to melt.
Oh, wow.
Oh, help me God.
That sounds awesome.
You do have that when you are here.
Awesome for at least a week. I wouldn't want to live in it full time.
So if you're gonna come, there's a reason why so many people winter in the South, because it's got nice weather in the winter. So come down here from October till April, and you're not gonna have the insane heat. You're gonna have nice weather and less humidity. But don't expect to not die of the heat and humidity if you do come in July and August. So I'll be honest with that.
What's with the green fountains?
Okay. And I guess one of the other don'ts I'll have for you is if you're really hot and you want to get a drink and you go in, they might ask you, hey, you know, what kind of Coke do you want? You're like, what? So my thing is, don't think that Coke just means Coke. Here, a lot of times what you'll see is they'll say, hey, what kind of Coke you want? They mean, what kind of soda would you like? What kind of pop or soda
wow.
or drink? It's just the word they use for
Okay,
soda
fair enough.
is Coke, okay? So don't freak out. Like, I don't drink Coke. Yeah, I know. We have lots of different Cokes, Sprite, Dr. Pepper, whatever. You do have that when you are here. Now, the last few years, I've definitely seen a drop off in the number of places where they do use Coke as the de facto word for soda or soda pop. So you might not see it too often, but occasionally you will. So I just want to give you that heads up. And the thing is, if you're gonna meet up with Southerners to have a drink, whether it's a Coke or a beer or whatever, is you gotta realize is don't expect the Southerners to be on time. There's definitely a much more laissez-faire attitude with time here in the South. And as Jocelyn will tell you, look, with this kind of humidity, how's my hair gonna dry? You know, these kind of things, it takes a little bit more time. Or Jocelyn will tell me, hey, I've gotta get my face on. Look, the thing is time is very relevant here. So if you're setting up a time, hey, let's meet at 8 o'clock, they might not be there till 8:30 or something like that or later. And don't.
That's a long time to wait. I mean, end of the day, it is what it is. I probably won't get in that experience ever again. But, you know what I mean? You set a time. Do you want to meet at 6? Yeah, let's meet at 6. It's a long time to be waiting. If you're used to it, you're used to it. And I guess if I was there and I was meeting someone, I'd just wait. I'd just politely wait. And then when we get here, I'd be like, all right, sweet, let's go. Doing whatever we're doing. So, yeah, it just seems a bit odd. Why not just say 8:30?
Don't worry if they write. She's like, oh, we're on our way. And that means, like, I'm getting in the shower, okay? So
that's common sometimes, though.
You realize that, yeah, on time, not always a thing to expect to have here. Now, going back to that drinky kind of thing, another thing you need to know is when you get tea here, don't think your tea is going to be unsweetened, okay? In the South, you drink sweet tea.
Oh, wow.
Period. End of
Never had
story.
sweet tea.
Unsweetened tea belongs in one place. Down a drain, all right? So if you're gonna get tea, it's gonna be sweet tea, all right?
Okay.
And it's really good. And don't think that sweet tea is tea plus sugar. No, no, no. For all my friends, when you go to a restaurant in the North and you ask for sweet tea, they say, oh, I have sugar packets with the tea. You're like, no, that's not the same thing, all right? So don't expect unsweetened tea when you're here. But the thing is if you're looking at food, honestly, if you're gonna be coming to the South, don't bring tight clothes, or at least bring a belt with a couple extra loops on it, because you're going to eat so much when you're here, because there's so much good food, from the fried chicken, the biscuits, the grits, oh my God, the barbecue. There's so much fantastic food that, yes, you will get quite big when you are here. I mean, I'll show you a picture of before I started coming to the South, and this is what I look like now, okay? So heads up with that. So don't forget.
Yeah, he's had a good time. And at the end of the day, if you're going on vacation, a holiday, whatever you want to call it, you're there to have a good time. Who cares what you're eating? You can work out when you get back home. You can work it off when you get back home or whatever. You're there to have a good time and eat as much as possible. So I agree with that.
Bit more room in your clothing when you are here. Now, my next stones kind of focus on some misconceptions of Southern food.
Okay.
No, they don't fry everything, but they do fry a lot.
I thought honestly, they did.
My biggest stone would be that, look, don't think that barbecue goes on the grill. The grilling things you grill on your barbecue at home is hot dogs and burgers and steaks. Barbecue here in the South is smoked meat, whether it is, of course,
nice.
a butt, a Boston butt, oh my God, pulled pork is fantastic, or you're having brisket or whatever. You have the smoked meat that's been on there for hours and hours, and it makes it all succulent and juicy, and it's so good. And that's why when you're in the South, you're eating barbecue all over the place. Because the thing is, if you're thinking that barbecue is just grilled meat, think about it. If you put a steak or any kind of meat on your grill straight on the flames for 7 hours, you know what you'd have?
Charcoal.
Okay? It's not the same thing. So don't think barbecue.
Yeah, I bet you there's some weirdos out there who'll go, yeah, that looks all right to me, and eat it. Oh, medium rare for me. How do you have your steaks? Let me know.
It's on the grill. It's in a smoker, just sucking in all those flavors. So definitely get barbecue when you are here. I'm not going to lie to you. Another don't I have for you actually dealing with those barbecue thing is, don't be surprised if the barbecue sauce you have varies from state to state. So here in Georgia, you have sweet barbecue sauce, right? But if you go to South Carolina, it's like a barbecue-based barbecue sauce. If you go to North Carolina, it's a vinegar-based barbecue sauce. If you go to Memphis, well, Memphis, they use a dry rub on their ribs. And so you have all these different kinds of...
Yeah, I want to give that a go. That'll be so interesting to eat. The texture and stuff. I kind of want to give that a go, you know. Maybe one day we'll visit the Southern States.
Barbecue you could have. I mean, I was in Alabama, and oh my God, I had some fantastic ribs when I was there. And here at Savannah, I'm doing the pulled pork, and I mean, you just have all these different variations. So don't think, oh, I'm doing a Southern tour. We had barbecue in North Carolina. I don't need to have it again. You should, because it will be different in each place you go.
Yeah.
And one thing that kind of goes along with the regional differences in the barbecue is also don't think that all the South is the same. I mean, if you're going to Atlanta, it's a very different experience than coming here to Savannah or going to Charleston, which is very different than going to New Orleans or Natchez in Mississippi, or going to Memphis versus Nashville or Knoxville, or going to the Outer Banks and these kind of things. You have a lot of different kind of regional differences in the South, whether it's geography.
Not an oyster fan. I'm not really a seafood fan, but again, I know I'm going to have comments. You live on an island and you don't like seafood. I lived mainland England for most of my life, so that's my excuse. I didn't grow up on it. I like cod from a fish and chip shop, that's about it. Oysters, nah, not a fan.
Whether it's people, whether it's food and cuisine and stuff like that, and yes, different types of barbecue that are out there, so don't think it's all the same, and don't think, well, I went to Atlanta, I saw the South. No, you saw part of the South, so go and explore more of it. Another don't I have for you has to do with that beautiful Spanish moss you see behind me. See it just kind of dripping down there. Oh, it is so cool. And you want to go and grab some and hold it like, oh, should I wear it as a shawl? Look, my don't for you is, so you're in the coastal part of the South and you see Spanish moss, don't touch it. There's little buggies in there. There's little chiggers in there that will bite you and bite you and bite you, and you get all itchy and stuff like that. So don't try to make your own I'm going to be Mark Walters picture and stuff it in your shirt so you get a big belly like me. Don't do that, okay? Because that stuff, man, you'll be like, can't make it stop.
It's great to know. That is a fantastic
tip.
And
that's more, I mean, most people would know to do that, not to do that. But I have seen a lot of kids, they'll go and start playing with it, and their parents don't realize it. So I want to make sure you know. Don't play with the Spanish moss.
Awesome.
Now, a fashion don't I have for you, and I know I am not the person to listen to about fashion, and that's okay.
I'm not either.
If you're a tourist, don't worry if you feel underdressed. Look, here in the South, you can, I mean, there's fashion, all fashion is acceptable here. You'll see people wearing flip-flops and G-strings, and you'll see people wearing their Southern gentleman best and their seersucker suits. You'll see that. And the thing is, though, if you go to, for example, you go to a football game in Georgia.
Looks awesome, man.
You'll see people in heels. We were at the grocery store at Publix, and people are doing their grocery shopping in heels. It's not an uncommon thing. So don't feel that you have to dress up that nice. I mean, don't get me wrong. People will be appreciative of it, but you don't have to dress up that nice when you are here. So, another don't in the South is don't mess with the mayonnaise. And in the South, you got two great mayonnaise. The best is Duke's. This is what you always want to get. Blue Plate, also very much an acceptable kind of thing. Not Mirror.
So does all your... It's going to seem very, very random, by the way. All your mayonnaise come in a jar like that? We got a little squirty top. Like your ketchup and... Well, I don't know if your guys' ketchup comes in jars or not now. What even is this world? I don't know anymore. But I like ketchup and mayonnaise. Barbecue sauce also comes in a little thing. Flip the top open. Squirt it on. Yours not? Or is this just the example just using you have the squirty one somewhere else? That may be something stupid, but let me know.
No, never that. But Duke's, Blue Plate, you'll be good to go, and you'll get it on all kinds of stuff. Now, another Southern food I want to give you a don't for are grits, okay? And my thing is, don't think grits are just for breakfast. Because when you see grits, they look like a cream of wheat or an oatmeal or a porridge kind of thing. But the thing is, they do look like that, but they're actually made out of hominy. And if you're not sure what hominy is, it's like a corn derivative, so you do have that. But the thing is, you look at it, you think, oh, this is going to be like a porridge. It's only for breakfast. Oh, no, 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 no. Grits are good any time of the day. You can have normal plain grits or cheese grits, which is always good. My personal favorite, if you're looking for something like a lunch or a dinner thing, shrimp and grits. Oh my God, it is so good. I
still don't know what these grits are. They've shown it me. I'm still confused. The cheese grits sounds nice because I like cheese, but no clue.
So don't think grits are just for breakfast. It may look like it, but it so isn't. And going along with that, don't think biscuits are the same here as well, because biscuits in the South, there's a different kind of flour they use. So make sure if you get a chance to grab some biscuits whenever you can, because oh my God, they are so good. Seriously, don't pass up the food in the South. I've said it before, I'll say it again.
That looks nice.
It is so good, from the fried chicken to the pecan pie to, oh my God, anything you have here is awesome. And the thing is, if you're going to cities like Savannah, you'll have traditional Southern cuisine, you know, collards and stuff like that. But you also have newer kind of fusion kind of Southern food, so you can have all kinds of great mixes. Now, another thing you should know is when you come to the South, I know when people come from around the world to come visit the U.S., we have a very popular sport here in the U.S. we call football, or you might call American football. And here in the South, it's like a religion. People love their SEC football.
Man, I love that.
They have their Georgia Bulldog shirts on, or their Alabama, the Crimson Tide, or LSU, or whatever. They really love their football in the South, okay? And so if you're gonna make this thing, oh, it's boring, soccer's better, or basketball's better, just don't. I'm telling you right now, it is not worth the headache of the discussion.
Well, I think I'll fit in. I just love all sports. again, I will admit, like I think everyone will understand because I am British, I prefer my soccer. I do. But I love all sport and I could definitely get behind going to an American football game. We've done so many reactions to it and I really enjoy it. Obviously, I've got to put soccer as my top sport because it's what I've grew up playing. I've watched it my entire life. It is what it is. But I'm not belittling these sports. You'd say the same thing. You might like soccer, but a lot of people put American football top because that's what you've grown up with. I can respect all sports. I happily watch it. I just love sport through and through, and I show that through my reactions on the sports stuff because I really enjoy it.
Because they love their football here. They're super passionate about it. And don't pass up the chance to go to 100%. A football game on a Saturday in the fall because it'll be a great experience, not just for the game, but don't miss out on tailgating, the party before the game when you're grilling out and you're drinking beer with your buddies and stuff like that. It's a whole experience, and you'll see that, wow, why is it on the Saturday, it's from 3 till 6, the city was empty? Oh, because the Georgia Bulldogs were playing, and so everybody in town was watching the game.
Awesome.
You do have that when you are here. And I guess another don't I'll give you is when you're preparing for that tailgate and you're going to the grocery store or the grocery, when you get your stuff, you know that little thing you fill up with all the groceries? That thing you push around, don't call it a cart here. It's called a buggy.
Oh, a trolley. What do you mean a cart? It's a trolley. Wait, what? A cart? A buggy? That's a trolley now. Again, I get you guys call it differently. Do you guys not call it a trolley then anywhere? Because he said cart, it's a buggy. What? I only know it's a trolley. Let me know what you guys.
All right, it's a buggy you push around. And my last don't for you is don't skip out on visiting the South. You will fall in love with it, with amazing architecture, amazing people, tons of beautiful towns to visit. You go to Natchez, Mississippi, on the Mississippi River and seeing all the homes there, or visiting New Orleans and seeing the history there and the Creole culture, or maybe you're heading up to Oxford, Mississippi, where Ole Miss is, or you're heading through Alabama, or you're coming here into Savannah, Georgia, or going to Charleston, or hitting Atlanta, the mega metropolis of the South, going up to Asheville for amazing beer, or hitting the Outer Banks. There's so much great things to enjoy in the South that you really want to go and explore. And that's why I tell people, don't try to see the whole U.S. Pick a region and focus on that. And the South is a great region to see because you can drive around lots of places. The roads are good because there's no freezing and thawing, so the highways stay even, which is awesome. And you really, really love it because the people, they care about their cities, they care about their towns. They have a very much pride in those places, so they want to share that with the tourists like you, like me.
Awesome.
So you will fall in love with places like that. And we really appreciate all of your support, whether it's in
Hit that subscribe button here, guys. That is the end of the video. I just want to say, when he said pick a region, I assume he meant per trip. If you're going to take like a couple-month trip to America, pick the North, pick the South, or something like that. Focus on them areas, get as much out as you can, and then the next time you come over, pick a different area. I believe that's what he's saying, not just pick one and stick to that for the rest of your life. I assume it is per trip or something like that. I really enjoyed this video. I've learned a lot about the South. I definitely need to go to a football game, which we've already established in quite a lot of different videos. The food seems absolutely gorgeous. I'm hungry. I'm absolutely starving. It's quite late. I'm going to go to bed instead, but I might have a little bit of supper instead now. You guys call it a cart and not a buggy. A cart or a buggy, and I call it a shopping trolley. It is what it is. Not the end of the world. And definitely quite a few other things. Let me know if there's anything else missed off this list. Let me know if you enjoyed the video as well. Hit that like button. I'd really appreciate it. Let's try and hit 400. Hit that subscribe button if you're new around here. You absolute legends. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.